Hey guys, it's me, your favorite mission girl, wannabe Jedi, pop culture nerd, and resident Disney freak Caitlin. I know I said I wasn't going to vlog today because I was supposed to be out of town, change of plans. Now it's looking like I won't be doing a video next Sunday because it looks like we switched the Sunday. So, anyway. Hi, welcome to my vlog. Surprise. Yeah. I'm a little flustered because I was almost all the way done with this and then I ran out of space on my notebook. So next week I'm going to try using a different camera. So I don't run out of space. And I was doing really good, so because of that, let's not waste any time. Let's get started. Let's head all the way out to California to Knott's Scary Farm. Knott's Scary Farm actually courted controversy this year. Not too surprising, because Knott's Scary Farm is a Halloween haunt at Knott's Scary Farm. But they got into a little bit of controversy with a new extra ticket item at the park. It was originally called Fear VR 5150. Now, the premise that Knott's released in a press release was this. Park goers pay extra to do this experience, which is the new virtual reality thing. You strap it on and go, woo, cool. In this experience, customers, park goers, were strapped into a chair, had the device fitted onto their head, and were sent into a mental institution where a patient named Katie was causing deadly chaos around them. And they had to deal with the death and the destruction going around them. Now, it started being controversial because of the name, Fear VR 5150. 5150 is actually a code that means a patient is having a mental break and poses a danger to themselves or others. After people complained about that, Knott's quickly cut that out of the title, and it was simply called Fear VR. Didn't stay open for too long despite being one of the more popular attractions at this year's Scary Farm because families of those who suffer from mental health illnesses like schizophrenia or bipolar mental breaks quickly complained that Knott's was being insensitive to those with mental health issues. Eventually, Knott's shut down Fear VR and issued a statement saying they apologized, but they never intended Fear VR to have anything to do with the mental health community or mental health illness as a whole. It was really just a story about zombies that just happened to be set in a mental health institution. I can understand where Knott's is coming from because mental health institutions and hospitals are two of the most popular places in which to set scary things like haunted houses or mazes or even scare zones. However, I also understand where the families of those who suffer from mental health illnesses are coming from. Taken the wrong way, this experience can be seen as kind of offensive. I particularly didn't find it offensive, but then I know a little bit about horror because I do like the entertainment industry, and horror is a big part of that industry. So while I don't really see anything wrong with Fear VR, I do think that there was a better way they could have marketed this experience and maybe not have sent it in a mental institution at all. Maybe I said it somewhere different. I do give Knott's kudos, Cedar Fair kudos for understanding the controversy and deciding not to push it any further and simply shut down the experience. I think it would be an interesting experience, and I think maybe next year, if Knott's was to do a Fear VR experience again, maybe they should do a little bit more research into something like this and maybe do like a zombies at school or something. Obviously, it's a really cool idea, and they're definitely playing into the new advances in technology. Just maybe a mental health institution with all the new information about mental health illnesses and stuff wasn't the smartest idea. So I understand the controversy and I understand both sides. So simply put, nice try, Knott's. Maybe next year try something a little bit different with virtual reality. All right, on to TV. Although I did not see it, this past Wednesday, September 28th, was the season premiere of Criminal Minds with the episode The Crimson King. This introduced the new character, Luke Alves, played by CSI's Adam Rodriguez, and also set into motion the future with Hot. Now, also, it has been announced that Damien Gupton has been signed on to play another regular character, Stephen Walker, from the BAU's Counterintelligence Unit. Now, Luke Alvarez is actually from the Fugitive Task Force, so it'll be interesting how these two new characters mesh with the BAU crew. It's already been reported by some producers that Kristen Monegas's Garcia is going to butt heads with Luke Alves, simply because he's not Morgan. Of course, others are already hinting that romance may be in the air between the new member. Now, like I said, I didn't see this the season opener, Crimson King. I am going to try and catch it Tuesday when I have the day off. I will be able to see the second episode of this new season because I don't work Wednesday night. Yay! So, next Sunday, with the better laptop, I should be able to do a quick review of both the Crimson King and next week's episode, which I don't remember the title of. But still, it's really interesting. There's also rumors that Kristen Vonnegut is going to be the one either writing or directing Thomas Gibson's final episode of Hotch. A lot of people are saying after Hotch was swatted last season that he is definitely just going to retire from the BAU, from the FBI, and just take care of his son. Interestingly enough, one of the plot points for the season that they were going to do if they kept Hotch on the story was Hotch's father, who has Alzheimer's, was going to take a turn for the worse. So, so maybe that will actually come into play as one of the reasons Hotch is leaving the show. It'll definitely be interesting to see who takes over Hotch's positions. They now have Luke Alvaz. They will have this Stephen Walker character. Paget Brewster is back as Emily, and then you have Rossi. So you have 4 characters who could potentially take over as head of the BAU. Well, actually, really 3, because some are saying Rossi wouldn't be interested in becoming the boss. So it will definitely be interesting to see which path they take with this. So, yay! Criminal Minds. So I will definitely catch up on Criminal Minds this week. Also, this past week was the season premiere of Once Upon a Time. As I said in previous vlogs, I did not get into Once Upon a Time this last season. I tried really hard. I did my best, and I just could not do it. The Black Swan arc, it was cool seeing King Arthur. It was cool seeing that legend. But for some odd reason, I just could not get into it. So it was kind of sad. So I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't let myself get into it. And of course, by the time I decided to start trying to watch it again, they killed off Hook. So when they killed off Hook, I cried. I really did cry. And then I got excited and was like, oh, we're going to hell. And I'm like, sweet, that's going to be so cool. And it ended up, I don't know what it was, if it was the writing, if it was the plot twist. I don't know what it was. I just could not get into Once Upon a Time last season. This season, I'm feeling a little more hopeful, especially with the season premiere episode, which aired on the 25th, called The Savior, in which we see Aladdin, who was also a savior, and it's hinted that while the saviors themselves hold this incredible power and have the ability to change the lives of those around them for the better. I mean, Emma's whole goal is she wants everyone to have a happy ending, and she's pretty good at making that happen. The saviors themselves do not get a happy ending. It's very strongly hinted at that the saviors actually, their lives, their stories end very tragically. Something that's hammered home in a vision Emma receives, spoiler alert, that shows her not living a happily ever after. So it's definitely interesting to see where exactly they go with this mythology of the savior. Also, new characters are being presented as characters from the land of untold stories. These are characters who did not want to see how their stories were end in their own world, so they managed to find this way to another world where they could just live out their stories without the story ending. Characters we are supposed to see from this season include Jekyll and Hyde, which we already saw last season. We're also supposed to see the Count of Monte Cristo, which is a very interesting story if you ever had the chance to read it or skim through it. It's really the story about one man's quest for revenge, and it's a very interesting story. Also, Captain Nemo from the 2000 Leagues Under the Sea or something, they're both slated to be making appearances. So it's going to be really interesting to see where they go with these characters from the land of untold stories. Other quick notes, I loved the opening scene after seeing Aladdin for the first time, which was cool. Hook and Emma finally getting a moment of romance. Finally having some time alone. No! I wanted to scream at my TV because it's like, oh my gosh, Hook and Emma are like Hera and Kanan. They never get any time alone, and they finally have a moment alone. Of course, they're doing something my mom would disapprove of. Well, they're trying to do something my mom would disapprove of since I'm not married. But still, they finally have a moment alone to be romantic and loving, and it gets ruined. I'm sitting there going, no! It's just like when Chopper interrupts Hera and canon, or when Rex and Cody interrupted like Obi-Wan and Satine, it's like, what is wrong with you? They were so close. How can you see such a romantic, beautiful moment and want to interrupt it? Okay, seriously. So it was just like seeing that romantic moment. I'm like, no, why do you do this? So it's like, I'm like, no, please. They just want to have one moment doing something that, like I said, my mom would disapprove of since I'm not married, but still, romantic, romance. They just want some time alone, and then that happens. So it's like, ugh. I'm sorry, it's just so mean, okay? Also, it was really cool seeing really touching scene between Emma and Regina. Not Emma and Regina, Snow and Regina. Snow White, Mary Margaret and Regina. It was so sweet seeing that. Last season, spoiler, Robin apparently died. Hades destroyed his soul, and Regina is really struggling with this because Robin was her true love. Again, no! What were you thinking, writers of Once Upon a Time? Why would you do that? Okay? Regina has been through so much, she totally deserves a happy ending. And then you take her one true love, the guy who is perfect for her in every single way, and you kill him. What were you thinking? Okay? This is why I'm in the midst of rewriting Star Wars, okay? For fun. Because I want everybody to live happily ever after. With a few non-changes. But anyway, so Regina has been struggling, and Snow White takes the time to comfort Regina, and it's so sweet because, let's not forget, once upon a time, a long time ago, not so long ago actually, Regina wanted to kill Snow White. So it's like, okay. So obviously Regina and Snow's relationship is very sisterly and loving, and it was so cool seeing Snow White offer comfort to Regina, and Regina looking at her going, why are you being so nice to me? I tried to kill you and destroy your life. And Snow White's like, well, it doesn't matter now. You know, you're a good person. I know you're a good person. I knew you were a good person before you were the evil queen. So Snow is obviously going to be there, and I think that relationship is going to be a big part of this season, especially since the evil queen, is back. So that's going to be really interesting because this season, it's going to be Regina versus Regina. So oh, yeah, that's going to be awesome. So I definitely have high hopes for Season 6 of Once Upon a Time. So as you can see, I'm really excited. The second episode airs tonight, so yay, can't wait to see what happens. I'm so excited. And next Monday, jumping over to the CW, is the Season 2 premiere of Supergirl. I'm really excited about that. I was so excited when Supergirl premiered last year on CBS. Super excited because it's like, oh, she is so cool. And the best part is she's a dork, okay? Kara and Clark Kent, when they are not Superman and Supergirl, they're like the biggest dorks on the planet. Like me. And they even wear kind of the same style glasses I do, like the really thick, dorky kind. So it's so cool seeing superheroes. Poor dorks. And I actually have a friend who every time I talk to him, I'm usually talking about Star Wars, Star Trek, Supergirl, Once Upon a Time, Criminal Minds, or recently Power Rangers, Gargoyles, or anime, and he calls me a dork, and I always shoot back, I am adorkable. I am an adorable dork. So yeah, so Supergirl starts on October 10th with the first episode being titled The Adventures of Supergirl. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, especially since this season we will see, as I've said before, Clark Kent! Yes! Superman is coming to Center City. I think that's what it's called. I don't care. Superman is going to be here, and I'm so excited. And yay! Excited. Plus, Jimmy and Kara, I think they're dating, but okay. Anyway, Superman is coming, but as I've read in some interviews, it's not going to be a good time for all. Apparently, Alex Danvers, Kara's adopted sister, is not going to be so happy that Kara's absentee cousin / kind of big brother and mentor is showing up on the scene. From what I read, the Alex views Clark as being, well, neglectful. Basically, finding Kara, saying he loves Kara, and then dumping her. And then really playing no part in her life, helping her figure out her crazy powers on Earth. And then, like, taking a back seat. And then, like, when she starts becoming Supergirl, actually not physically being there for her. I mean, they chatted. And he does make a couple appearances in the first season. But Alex will kind of see Clark being around is, well, not a good thing for Kara. She's going to worry that Kara will become too attached and Clark will just take off and leave Kara in the dust. And I don't know why I keep holding my pen. So she's worried about Kara's feelings, and she's also feeling a little bit of jealousy. Obviously, Kara is going to have some sort of attachment connection to Clark because they're both from Krypton, and they both have these really cool powers, and they're both saving the world. So obviously, Clark and Kara share something that Kara and Alex will never share. So there's going to be some jealousy and trust issues from Alex when it comes to Superman. I'm really interested to see how Jimmy and Superman are going to interact now, since I believe Jimmy and Kara are dating. How can they not be dating after all that stuff they shared last season? So it's going to be really interesting to see how Clark Kent takes his best friend dating his cousin. Because as Jimmy Olsen revealed at one point, Clark, one of the reasons Jimmy moved to Center City was because Clark asked him to keep an eye on Kara. No, he was moving to Center City, and Clark asked him to keep an eye on Kara. So Jimmy was kind of tasked with that. So I'm not sure how Clark will handle Jimmy dating Kara, because I don't think dating was part of the deal when he decided to move. So anyway, I'm so excited about Supergirl. I gotta binge watch the first season. And that's kind of a problem because I'm actually in the middle of watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And here's the thing, I'm only watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers up to the episode where Kimberly leaves, because Kimberly's like my favorite Pink Ranger of all times. And I'm so mad that she and Tommy didn't stay together, because I did not like Kat at all. So I'm only watching up to where Kimberly leaves, and then I'm jumping to Power Rangers in Space, because next to Tommy and Kimberly, my favorite couple is Andros and Ashley. And actually, I'm already writing a fan fiction for Power Rangers where I create a little sister for Tommy, and I'm writing it so Kimberly never leaves. I'm basically, I don't know why all my characters tend to be Mary Sue's, so I know it's kind of lame, but Tommy's going to have a little sister, because I don't like Kimberly leaving him, and I don't really think Kimberly meant to break up with him, so. I'm debating about doing that, or doing a Power Ranger story set in the future about Kimberly and Tommy's youngest daughter, who definitely doesn't feel like she's up to become a ranger like her older siblings. And my inspiration would be the newest Super Sentai series, which is basically about animals, and I love animals. So and one of my pictures is falling off the wall. So yeah, so I have to find out. I'm almost done, actually. I'm at the end of I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger, which is like my favorite Power Rangers episode of all time. So I'm in the middle of that, and then I'm also not only binge watching Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, I also got Power Rangers Ninja Storm on DVD, which I'm also started watching. I'm also watching Scarlet Heart Rio on Drama Fever, and Cinderella and the Four Knights, which I think their final 2 episodes air this week. I'm a mess, and on top of that, I'm watching Star Wars Rebels, Once Upon a Time, and I gotta start watching Criminal Minds and AFV, so I have no life. Oh, and then I gotta binge watch one called The Heart. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I really am a pop culture nerd. So yeah, I can't wait for Supergirl. I'm really excited. Now, let's move on to last night. Sorry, good. Last night, Star Wars! Last night was Star Wars Rebels. First off, quick notes, I saw some news about Dave Filoni no longer being the director of Star Wars Rebels. That is true. Dave Filoni has taken a step back. He is now executive producer, and before everybody starts going, no! Breathe. This does not mean the end of Star Wars Rebels. It doesn't mean Star Wars Rebels is suddenly going to go downhill just because we got a new director. Dave Filoni is actually going to be able to do so much more with Rebels in other projects within the Star Wars universe as an executive producer, because he'll have so much more creative freedom. So please, Dave Filoni, let one of these new Star Wars things be a movie about Ahsoka or a TV series about Ahsoka. That would be so awesome. Yeah, please. Or maybe one about Princess Leia when she's helping the rebellion. That would be awesome, okay? So hopefully we get some new Star Wars stuff, and I don't think Rebels is going to go downhill. Also, last week, in terms of time jump, I thought last week's episode, oh my gosh, Steps in the Shadow took place about a year, between 1 to 3 years after Malachor. Boy, was I way off. Pablo Hidalgo actually says Step in the Shadow takes place 6 months after Twilight of the Apprentice. Wow. That's a pretty fast last period for Ezra to go, I am a dark side zombie, pretty much. So, yeah, that was a quick turnaround on Ezra's part. So, it's actually said 6 months, so it's still very much fresh. So, here are my top moments from last night's episodes, Holorcrons of Fate, which I thought would be an hour, and it wasn't, but it was still pretty awesome for all the stuff they crammed into it. First up, Ezra is questioning why Yoda would even send them to Malachor. Okay, technically, Yoda did not send Ezra, Kanan, and Ahsoka to Malachor. He simply told Ezra Malachor, and then they said, oh, well, we must need to go. So technically, Yoda did not send them to Malachor. He simply gave them the name, and they ran with it. But Ezra questions why Yoda would even save them to Malachor if they weren't supposed to use the Sith Holocron or get the Sith Holocron. And in Kanan's mind, he says he thinks it was a test to see if they could defeat the Sith, that they failed. So Malachor was not supposed to be like this really cool thing. It was like a test, and they failed it. But the second thing is Maul. Maul is back. He returns, and he's not like he was in the Steps into Shadow. He is full on back into Clone Wars Maul. Which means he is nasty, deceptive, evil, and murderous. He kidnaps Hera, Zeb, Sabine, and Chopper. He tries to kill Kanan. He tries to kill the Quiver of the Ghost after using the dark side of the Force to dig into Hera's mind to find Kanan's Jedi Holocron. And he keeps calling Ezra throughout the entire episode, his apprentice. And every time he called Ezra his apprentice, I was like yelling at the TV going, he's not your apprentice, he's Kanan. So I was in my room yelling at my TV. I yell at my TV a lot. So yeah, and also we get a brief history lesson from Maul because he reminds Sabine, who does not like him, that Sabine should know him better than she thinks he does because he did rule Mandalore briefly. So we do get history 101 with Maul. I don't forget that Maul ran Mandalore because he did something, because he killed Satine and broke Obi-Wan's heart. So I thought I was starting to feel sorry for Maul after learning more of his backstory, and then I remember all the horrible things he does, and I don't feel sorry for him anymore. I think some people are just evil. He might have started out good. Like I say, I believe everyone is born good and live good, but we make these choices, and some people just make choice after choice after choice that's bad until they can't find the light anymore, and I think that's what happened with Maul. So he just can't find his way back to the light because there is no light left in him. He is 100% a black hole. He is dark, 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 dark. But yeah, so... we also learn what Maul is hoping to search for, because when you combine the holocrons together, which is what he wants to do when you combine a Sith and Jedi holocron together, they unlock like a ton of knowledge about the galaxy, like anything you could ever want to ask. And while Ezra is looking for the key to destroying the Sith, Maul tells Ezra later in the episode that he's actually looking for hope. When I heard that, I went, huh? I want to know what kind of hope Maul is exactly looking for, because I doubt it's the nice hope where sunshine and smiles and butterflies and everyone lives happily ever after. I think it's more the hope of Maul taking his lightsaber and slicing and dicing to pieces everyone he feels has wronged him throughout the years. So yeah, Maul is looking for something called hope, but it's not the hope we know. I think it's a darker, nightmare-inducing hope. Kanan and Ezra, their bond, another moment is they are fully back to being master Padawan / father and son. It was really cool. They had to go get the holocron back from the Bendu, and the Bendu says you have to learn how to work together. One of the imbalances he is sensing in the Force is from Kanan and Ezra's fractured bond. Ugh. So he says, okay, you guys have to go into the lair of the creepy spiders, because that's where I hit the holocron, and you guys have to go get it. And Kanan's like, okay, I'll stand out here and direct you, Ezra. You go inside, but give me your lightsaber. Because Ezra tends to think with his lightsaber first, so he needs to learn how to solve stuff on his own without it. So Kanan takes the lightsaber, Ezra goes in, Ezra gets in trouble. Kanan ditches his lightsaber and his mask and goes in, and Ezra, for the sense he and Kanan made up in the first episode, has become really overprotective of Kanan. He doesn't want Kanan to do anything dangerous. So when he sees Kanan, his master, who is blind, able to do this really cool stuff and save Ezra, Ezra's like, wow. And then Ezra then apologizes for trusting Maul, which resulted in Maul blinding Kanan. So he apologizes for Kanan being blind. He apologizes for after Ahsoka. And Kanan's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's nothing for you to apologize for. We all make mistakes, and Kanan actually says something that made me want to cry. Ezra, I don't blame you. I'm like, oh! And then they hug. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Seeing Ezra and Kanan hug is what made it clear to me that this is no longer the new old Jedi Order of the Republic. This is the start of the new Jedi. This is the start of Jedi where attachments are not frowned upon. Okay, it's not like totally forbidden. Ezra and Kanan are hugging. I mean, okay, Ahsoka and Anakin hugged like once or twice in Clone Wars, but it's still so much cooler to see Kanan and Ezra, and because they're not trying to avoid attachments or say they're bad. They're forming them. I mean, come on. We all know Kanan and Hera are dating. Okay, that was a big no-no during the Republic if you were a Jedi, okay? Not such a no-no now, so it makes it clear to me, especially when Kanan and Ezra hug, that this is not the old Jedi Order. This is the start of something new and better for the Jedi. Even if there's a chance that Kanan and Ezra might not live to see the start of the new Jedi Order. But still, this is a new start. They're learning and moving and growing. So yeah, that makes me so happy. Because I like thriving on attachments. I like being close to my family and friends. So it makes me happy to see. I always feel sorry for the old Jedi in the Order when I watch the prequels or read the books and stuff because of the whole no attachment rule. And I'm like, you missed out. It's cool being a Jedi, but you missed out on so much, I think, by not being able to openly form attachments and have these really close relationships. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, it's like I think you missed out on so much by not being able to do that. And so, yay! I'm so happy. And in fact, some of the producers on Rebels Recon, which I will link to, say that they think that's one reason why Ezra is able to be clawing back from the edge of the dark side. It's because he has these attachments, because he has such a strong support system in this adopted family. Whereas Anakin didn't really have that strong support system. I mean, he had Obi-Wan, he had Padme, but for the most part, the Jedi were like, attachments, no, bad. And so, where Anakin didn't have like a really strong family or support system for the most part, and we all saw what happened to Anakin, Ezra does have a strong family and a strong support system, which means they're going to be there and they'll love him and hug him and they'll treat him just the same and they will help him from when he falls. So there's the main difference between Ezra and Anakin, why Ezra is able to claw his way back, and even though he will still be tempted, he will still be stronger against it because he has people who love him and are there for him. So yeah. So there is proof that the attachments can be a distraction, but they're also good in the end. So, sorry. So, yeah. Also, Bendu says what I think is going to be one of the coolest quotes ever for this season of Star Wars Rebels. It was actually in the trailer. Bendu says, once a secret is known, it cannot be unknown, when he's referencing them joining the Holocrons. And he says, you may want this knowledge, and you may be willing to do whatever it takes to get this knowledge, but once you know it, you cannot unknow it. No matter how horrible it is, no matter what it means you have to do. It's like learning a devastating secret about a friend or something. You learn the secret and you don't really mean to learn the secret, but once you know it, you can't unknow it, and it's not like you can really share it with anyone else. So once you learn this knowledge, this incredible knowledge, which may give you the key to getting what you want out of life, you can't unknow it, even if it means there's these horrible aspects to it. So it's really this warning, which I think is really cool. And I definitely think once a secret is known, it cannot be unknown, will be one of the top quotes in Star Wars Rebels. And if it gets well known enough, we might be starting quoting that, as well as do or do not, there is no try. And the whole thing about what leads to the dark side. So obviously, that quote is really awesome, and I can't wait. And I'm kind of bummed if Holorcrons of Fate is the last episode where we get to see the Bendu, because I thought the Bendu was going to be a bad guy, and I actually think he's kind of pretty decent. I think he might be seen as a little bit of a bad guy because his whole thing is he's the one in the middle. He doesn't really care what the issues are with the light and the dark side of the Force, the Ashla and the Borg, as he calls it, and stuff like that. It's just... he just wants perfect balance. So, and that's why he woke up in Steps into Shadow, is the imbalance in the Force that Kanan brought with him woke the Bendu. So, I hope we see more of the Bendu. I really do. Because he's a really interesting character, and he definitely adds something to the mythology of the Force. especially when you go back and look at Legends, the Jedi, the original conception of the Jedi Order. Their thing was you could not be too light and you could not be too dark. You had to mark a fine line down the middle. So I think that's kind of what the Bendu is playing on, is this very fine line between light and dark. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So I really hope we see the Bendu again. But the end is the questions they leave us with, okay? Oh my gosh, every time I watch Rebels, I end up ending the show with more questions. And this week, oh my gosh, my mind is about to explode because of the questions. Okay, so Ezra and Maul combine the holocrons. And Ezra says the key to destroying the Sith, spoiler alert, is twin suns. Oh my gosh, I don't know about any of you guys. When I hear the words twin suns, my first thought is Tatooine, desert planet, really hot, no water, but it's got two suns, okay, two suns, okay, twin suns. That could mean Luke. Okay, also twin suns could also mean Luke and Leia, but Leia's not really force sensitive, but she's not really into that whole thing, so let's forget Leia for a moment. Go away. Anyway, the twin suns, Luke. Oh my gosh, what if Luke is going to play some role in Star Wars Rebels? What if Ezra, Kanan, and the Ghost Crew take that clue about the twin suns, put two and two together, and get Tatooine? Oh my gosh, does that mean we're going to go to Tatooine this season? I don't know. I don't even know if twin suns actually means what I think it means. What does twin suns mean? Does it mean that, or does it mean something else? Also, Maul, when he looks into the two merged holocrons, he sees a man. He goes, it's him. He's alive. It's like, wait a minute. Who is him? It's like, and all of a sudden, wait a minute. It's him, Obi-Wan? Does he realize, did he just figure out Obi-Wan Kenobi is still alive? Does this mean Maul now knows where Obi-Wan is and is going to go after Obi-Wan? And if he is, does that mean, after all the rumors are true and Obi-Wan's going to be on Star Wars Rebels? Oh my gosh, if that's true, yay! And breathe. So the two big questions left over from Holocrons of Fate is, what the heck does him and twin suns mean? Does it mean what we all think it does? Is it a reference to Luke and Obi-Wan to Tatooine? What the heck is going on? But we're not going to find out. Yes, they leave us with those two burning questions, and next week's episode has nothing to do with them. Next week's episode is titled The Antilles Extraction. Exciting because we're going to see Wedge, like young Wedge, before he was an X-Wing fighter pilot. He was in the Imperial Academy learning how to fly TIE fighters. So next week we're going to meet Wedge, and we're still going to have questions about what the heck did Maul mean when he said he is still alive, and what exactly does twin suns mean? Like I said, does it mean what we all think it does? I mean, it'd be really, really cool if it did mean Luke and Obi-Wan are going to be in Rebels. Of course, I also think it'd be really cool if Leia came back. Oh, and they could stick Han somewhere in there. I mean, of course, the Rebels are going to have to use smugglers. What if one of the reasons Han was so against the rebellion in New Hope is because he ran up against the rebellion during the early days? Okay. And breathe. I am running on nothing but brooms and caffeine. Whee! I am pretty much loopy because I worked another long week this week. Yeah, so Star Wars Rebels, Holocrons of Fate, again, really cool episode. I really wish it had been an hour because I think they would have been able to do a lot more stuff with it. But they still did a lot. I'm really excited. And like I said, there really isn't any bad episode of Star Wars Rebels. And even the so-called filler episodes, which I have admitted last year, I did say there were a couple of filler episodes. Those aren't fillers, apparently. There's stuff in there that you need to watch. So, yay! Star Wars Rebels, Holocrons of Fate, awesome all across the board. I really wish it was longer, but there's nothing I can do about it. So, I'm so excited to see next week's episode, The Antilles Extraction. And I really can't wait for us to finally be able to figure out what exactly Ezra meant when he said twin suns and what Maul meant when he said he's alive. And also, I really can't wait for Ahsoka to return. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm still. So, that's today's show. Like I said, hopefully next week I'll be able to do one that's a little bit longer and fuller. I will be talking about Criminal Minds next week. Once Upon a Time, and again, Star Wars Rebels, yay, and then next Monday is Supergirl, I'm so excited, so, also, next week on the 11th, Ahsoka will be released, not the movie, the novel. I already went ahead and pre-ordered my copy of Ahsoka from Amazon. I should be getting it on the, 17th or 18th, I am super excited, I cannot wait to read that thing, I'm going to have it devoured in, like, an hour, it's going to be, it's here. I'm going to be at work standing there and going, 1 minute. Yeah. So I'm probably going to get in trouble at work. So I am super excited. Ahsoka's coming out next week. Also, Disney's Magical World 2 will be coming out next week, so I will have reviews up for those. I am so excited. I am looking at my calendar and I am realizing I suddenly have no life. Because I have TV shows cleaning. I also have on the 21st, that is the day we have picked to go down to Frankenmuth. Yay, I'm happy. Also on the 21st is the Dow Midland game, which is my school is Dow High, green and gold forever. And their big rivalry and the Midland Dow big rivalry game is the 21st. So we're gonna go to Frankenmuth during the day and at night go watch football. It's really the only football game my mom and my brother go to. My mom will watch a little. She'll watch MSU and Lions, but she doesn't really get into football, unlike me. So yeah, on the 21st, I will be going out of town. But that's okay. Nothing happens on Friday, so I'll be able to film some stuff for that. Next week, I'm not sure if we're going out of town, but like I said, we might be. If that's the case, I will film and I will post something on Monday. So, like I said, that's another show for me. Don't forget to like. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. I'll include a link to Rebels Recon for Holorcrons of Fate in the description below. If there's anything I keep saying this every week, if there's anything you guys would like me to talk about, pop culture, leave a comment or a discussion below. If you have anything you want to know about me, I already gave my age, like my likes, dislikes, anything, what all this stuff, means, all the other stuff on my wall besides Star Wars, go ahead, leave me a quick blurb in the comments, message me, let me know. If I get enough questions, I might do a Q&A. I'm not sure how well that works. I tried doing one before, and it didn't work too well. So let me know how you guys feel, what you guys think. If you want me to keep doing if there's anything you want me to do, like a movie review or something. Like I said, I don't really go out that often, and I don't really go to movies. But I do have a ton of movies here, and I actually have a lot of movies I haven't watched, like Les Miserables and stuff. So if you want, let me know what you guys want me to do. I want this vlog to be decided by you. So next week, I will be back with news from Criminal Minds, Once Upon a Time, and Rebels. So I will see you guys either next Sunday or next Monday. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday, an amazing week. I want all of you to stay safe and sound and have fun. So I am Caitlin, your favorite Michigan girl, wannabe Jedi, pop culture nerd, and Disney freak. I'll see you guys next week. And as always, may the Force be with you.